Okay, I don't think I see you in here yet.
It's a Charm City Star live video. Do I click on
Live,
this?
I haven't.
Oh, turn my
Dr.
volume
Brad,
down.
what's your handle?
There we go. Oh,
All right, and then
Okay, we're live.
request.
whoa. Okay, Dr. Brown, I just invited you to join me on the. There we go. I see you.
No, it's just gotta.
Ooh, I'm having a Minority Report moment, folks. Welcome to Between Two Succulents, where we like to groove with elevator music, plants, books, deep thoughts. We're back in our home on Instagram Live. We're also streaming on Facebook Live. We're also on YouTube Live. We're just hitting all the social meds. I'm your virtual bookseller, Megan Graves. I'm very excited to be here with Dr. Lawrence T. Brown. Thank you for spending some time with us today, Dr. Brown.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
So, folks, just before we even get into this, I'm going to strongly encourage you to hop over to Dr. Brown's website, theblackbutterflyproject.com, because you can find his full bio there, because I cannot do it justice right now, but I'm going to try. So, Dr. Brown, you've done all the things the people need to know. Class is in session. So you worked at Morgan State University. You were there for 9 years in several capacities. You were, yes. You were a postdoctoral fellow, you were an assistant professor, you were an associate professor, you researched the impact of historical trauma on community health. And last year, you became the director of the County Health Rankings and Roadmaps program at the University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute. You have been honored by OSI Baltimore with their Bold Thinker Award, and you were included in the Route 100, which is an annual list of the most influential African Americans between the ages of 25 and 45. And last but not least, your most recent achievement, other than appearing on Between Two Succulents, a bucket list item for anyone, you published your first book, The Black Butterfly, The Harmful Politics of Race and Space in America. That came out in January. And of course, it's available on charmcitybooks.com. So I want to talk more about that in a minute, but I'm going to start by doing a little plant talk. Dr. Brown, are you ready to talk plants?
That's always what I've been wanting to do.
I hear like a note of facetiousness in your voice, but hopefully by the end of our little plant chat, you'll really be excited about plants. So I've been trying to convince my plants to stay alive for the winter. It's going fine. But I want to introduce you to two plants, our plant VIPs, and then you're going to tell me which one is singing the song of your soul today.
Okay.
So the first one is called Satin Pothos. It's got these beautiful silver markings on the green leaves. And pothos in general, they grow better when they're trimmed. So if you want to get like the bushy effect, it's better to trim them back, which I think is applicable maybe to humans sometimes. And then this little guy is called a ripple jade. And something I read about these recently, they're a succulent, so they can be grown outdoors or indoors. And they're recommended as a border plant, like a plant that you plant along the border in surrounding smaller plants, like a protector of smaller plants. So we've got our little silver friend who needs to be cut down to size every now and again. And we've got our little ripple friend who protects those lower to the ground. Is one of them sort of calling out to you more than the other?
I don't know. When you first said putting a border up, I was thinking it sounded like a little too close to build that wall. So I'm thinking that the first one is really the one I'm going to roll with today.
You're gonna go with the first one?
Yeah.
We want to bring walls down. We want to eliminate those borders. You know, I heard it as I said it, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm called in. We're canceling Ripple Jade for now. So we're going with Satin Pothos.
The more I heard about it, the better it sounded. But at first blush, I was like, ooh, I don't want no borders.
It's rough. We're sticking with this guy, this little friend. He grows well in all sorts of light, all sorts of soil. And every now and again, if you cut him back, he grows back even stronger than before. Which
Story of Black America.
There we go. It's applicable. It's applicable to people.
See why it stings to my soul.
There you go. Talking right to you. Well, I want to hear more about your new book, The Black Butterfly. That phrase, the black butterfly, is a term that you coined, and you use it in the book to describe housing segregation, in particular in Baltimore. And I'm wondering if you can go into a little more detail about that imagery and the significance in the city of Baltimore as far as like redlining, housing restriction are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of what the Black Butterfly hopes to call attention to is the fact that Baltimore did, in fact, build that wall of racial segregation, of urban apartheid in December 1910, when Baltimore Mayor John Barry Mahul passed the first residential racial zoning law in American history. And so, I really detail in the book everything from racial zoning to residential racially restrictive covenants, redlining, subpriming, uprooting, urban renewal, Negro removal. It's just, litany of policies, practices, systems, and budgets that just play a role in bedeviling Black lives and destroying Black neighborhoods. And so the Black Butterfly really just emerged from one day in 2015, I was sitting at my computer looking at a racial dot map of Baltimore, created by Dustin Cable at the University of Virginia at the time. And I was looking at it and it didn't have a boundary of Baltimore on it. So I drew, the boundary of Baltimore, and it just sort of pattern jumped out at me. The dots that represented African Americans, it just had like this shape of a butterfly. And I said, well, I'm going to call it the Black Butterfly. And I was thinking about, Kendrick Lamar's album had come out a few months prior to Pimp a Butterfly. And I thought about that analogy that, you could have something beautiful that's being exploited. And so it really resonated with me, the fact that this could be like a counter narrative, that it could actually speak against the way that America views Black neighborhoods as like pathological places where nothing beautiful can ever happen, as places that we don't want to allocate resources, that we redline, that we subprime, that we marginalize, that we demonize. And so when I thought about it, it felt really good. And I just started using it like on social media and in my work. And I think by 2016 or 17, artists really started just taking it and running with it. There's a graffiti artist named Nether. He put it up on a building on I-83, Jones Falls Parkway, the L and the butterfly in like big bold letters. So when you're driving north on I-83, you couldn't miss it. It was just, standing, and it was like there for months before I guess the owner of the building got it painted over. And so it's just like, other artists were painting it. Nether created another mural with it. But yeah, I think when artists started taking it and running with it, that's when it really took off.
That's really interesting. I'm having two observations. The idea, I had watched several of your videos on your website, which I strongly recommend. As you can see, if you're watching, Dr. Brown is a phenomenal communicator, an excellent educator. You have really wonderful, short, concise, information-packed videos on your website, theblackbutterflyproject.com. And in one of them, you show the map of Baltimore, and it looks like a butterfly, but it's fascinating to me to reflect on how it's both a literal description and a figurative, artistic imagining of something positive. That's really beautiful. Speaking of those, Joe Carlson, just out here with the visual support.
That is the map that made it all happen.
So if you can see, you can see the butterfly wings, that central portion, and then the green is what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Is the butterfly wings.
Yep. Green dots represent African Americans, and so it jumped right out. Like, it looks like a butterfly to me. And, the blue dots represent white folks, and you can see it's like an L down the middle of the city, and then you hit like Alisana going east, and so the harbor, Port Covington, all of that is like that L. And so all together, it's really this pattern that I call the white L, the black butterfly, the Asian archipelago, and the Latina lagoon around Patterson Park in the southeast portion of the city. And there's actually a small Native American community as well, the Lumbee tribe in Upper Fells Point. They have a history and a cadre of folks there as well.
Wow. I'm learning so much. I feel like I'm back in school. Usually these conversations are like 5 to 10 minutes, but I would love to turn it into a master class. We'll have to have you back and just let you walk us through it, because it's so educational and interesting. And but we're going to move forward to a fan favorite segment of Between Two Succulents. We're going to take your skills for distilling information into a concise package, and we are going to start the lightning round.
I was born for the lightning round.
The lightning round. I provide the Foley for the lightning round. So this is how it works. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. If you answer those 3 questions correctly in the time allotted, a time that we are definitely paying attention to and a time that is very, very real, one lucky member of our IG Live audience, that's you, will win the prize of a lifetime. That's right, a Charm City Books magnet powerful enough to hold 2 surgical masks to the fridge, because we're double masking now, folks. Mm-hmm. So if you're on IG Live right now, get ready. This could be you. So Dr. Brown, are you feeling focused, centered, ready to take on this challenge?
I think my yoga meditation has me centered properly. Well, yoga meditation, I'm gonna start yoga meditation.
Either one, I will accept either. That's bonus points for you. Little did you know we had already begun. That's 1,000 points already for bringing Star Wars and yoga together. All right, the clock has started. Question 1. A concept you use in education is a community health garden. What is one action cities can take right now to water their communities in this time of intense need?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing for me in Baltimore is a $3 billion racial equity social impact bond that I think half of that is getting rid of lead and the other half is really doing things that need to be done to make Black neighborhoods matter.
Yes, correct. Wonderful. Question 2. Name your favorite food in Baltimore for providing you with all-important self-care, comfort, and or joy.
I don't know if it's a specific food, but there's this restaurant, I believe Brewers Hill is the official name of the community, called Waterford Chocolate. Chef Sean Guy, man, like almost, well, actually there's the breakfast burrito. Maybe that's the breakfast burrito there is. Oh, heavenly comfort. And I miss it.
Oh, heavenly comfort. That is correct. You nailed it. You're not going to top a breakfast burrito, okay? There's nothing better than a breakfast burrito. I digress. We're moving forward.
I was like, oh, it hit the spot. It's horrible with everything.
Any time of day, any time of year, I could wax eloquent on breakfast burritos for a while, but we're on the clock. So we're going to move on to question 3. What are municipal reparations, and what might that look like in a city like Baltimore?
Well, really, they are ways that we repair the damage that was inflicted on Black neighborhoods. And Baltimore City has inflicted a lot of damage. So what it looks like is taking 10% of the Baltimore City budget from the general fund, which before COVID was around $3 billion. So that's taking roughly $300 million, allocating it to the top 20 or so red line Black neighborhoods, and then having democratically elected neighborhood councils join with communities so they decide how that money should be spent in those neighborhoods.
Excellent. This sounds great. I just heard the dinging of the bell. You've got 3 for 3. Correct. Nailing the lightning round. Thank you for educating us with alacrity. As if the gift of information wasn't enough, someone also just won a magnet, and that person is Lefty Drummer 77 on Instagram Live. Okay, Lefty Drummer 77, you can pick up your magnet at the bookstore any day between 11:30 and 6, or next time you're online making an order, I'm sure you'll be ordering The Black Butterfly by Dr. Lawrence T. Brown. Put a little note in the comment section, say you're a magnet winner, and it'll get shipped off to you right away. So, Dr. Brown, before we move on, Dr. Lawrence Brown, we talked about this earlier. It's so hard for me when someone has the title of doctor. It's hard for me to use their first name. Lawrence, can you tell us what's coming up next for you? Anything on the horizon you are excited about and want to share?
I'm going to be doing just a lot of talks, a lot of, fun talks and conversations like this, and probably some that aren't so fun. But I think, it is an inherently fun topic, but I think I take great joy in my work. I take great joy, I think, in the response that people are having. And I think the other thing, I am actually trying to create a music project, and I want to get spoken word artists in the city. So if you own this and you do spoken word and you real good, holla at your boy. Like, cause I'm trying to see Afro Future One. That's my artist name right there. So that's hopefully the next thing that we can make happen.
Yes, absolutely. And Charm City Books is a community gathering space. So maybe there's some sort of cooperation, some sort of connection that can be forged there. Folks, check out Dr. Brown's Instagram handle is Action Brother Jedi. Can they reach out to you there too if they're spoken word artists?
Absolutely.
All the social media. Friends, I can't recommend Dr. Brown's work enough. The Black Butterfly Project is not just a book. Dr. Brown, can you talk a little bit more about the other facets of your work that people can participate in?
Sure. The Black Butterfly Project, it includes the book, but it's more than the book. It's really my way of trying to figure out how to get information out to people. So some of that is, speaking engagements, racial equity training for institutions and corporations. I'm really trying to also think about book clubs that people are having, getting them information out. I have a digital archive on my website that has a lot of material that complements the book. I have teacher resources, so teachers in K through 12 and higher education. I have videos and other materials that can be used in the classroom, or since we're in this digital age, you can put it on some sort of learning management platform. So I'm just trying to find every way that I can. So in one way, it's like the Black Butterfly Project, but it's also the Black Butterfly Project. So it's really projecting out. Maybe we can get like Batman and have a butterfly in the sky. That's really what I'm
the butterfly signal.
Butterfly, that means we all going to fly, we're going to rise. And so that's really what the Black Butterfly Project is trying to project.
That's lovely. I don't think we're going to top that. I'm just so appreciative of you spending your time with us today. Folks, like I said, you can hop on charmcitybooks.com, order Dr. Brown's book, The Black Butterfly, The Harmful Politics of Race and Space in America. And Dr. Brown, thank you again for spending your Monday evening with us.
My pleasure.
So friends, that does it for another episode of Between Two Succulents. Remember, your mask of efficacy goes from drab to fab if you ensure that there's a seal around your mouth and nose. Yes, that includes the nostrils. #fashion. All right, until next time, everybody. Bye.